Ever wish you could have like a research assistant on demand?
Oh, tell me about it.
Someone to like go through all those articles and notes,
Yeah.
even like those genius ideas scribbled on napkins. Pull out all the important stuff.
Wouldn't that be something?
Right.
A shortcut to being incredibly well informed, but in your own way.
Exactly. And you know what? That's kind of what we're diving into today, in a way.
Okay.
NotebookLM.
All right.
This AI research assistant from Google.
Huh.
And get this, we're using it to shape this episode.
Whoa.
Talk about meta, right?
Meta learning in action.
So tell me, what exactly makes NotebookLM different from just, say, a really good search engine?
Well, it's about synthesis, not just, search.
Okay.
Imagine feeding it your notes from a lecture, a PDF of a journal article, and even like a link to a news website, something relevant.
Okay.
NotebookLM, it doesn't just find keywords. It becomes an expert on your unique set of information.
Okay, let's unpack that a little bit.
Sure.
It becomes an expert, meaning
It can then create like personalized summaries, pull out the key takeaways, even create study guides, all from the material you gave it. And here's the kicker.
Yeah.
It cites everything.
Oh, wow.
Every single insight, every connection links right back to the source.
That's huge.
Right.
Especially these days.
Right.
No more wondering, wait, where did they get that information?
Exactly.
You can literally trace it back to the source.
Transparency is key. And for anyone worried about their data, NotebookLM, it's designed with privacy in mind.
Okay, good.
What you upload is not used to train the model.
Okay.
So what you feed it stays yours.
All right, so we've covered the what. Now walk me through the how.
Yeah.
How do you actually use this thing? It sounds great in theory, but is it actually like user-friendly?
Surprisingly so. You interact with it much like you imagine by asking questions.
Okay.
Just like you would with a human research assistant.
Right.
You pose these open-ended questions about the material you uploaded.
Okay, so if I was prepping for a presentation, let's say on the impact of AI on education,
Right.
which feels oddly relevant right now.
Right.
I could feed NotebookLM a few articles, maybe some of my own notes.
Precisely. And instead of just getting like a summary of each piece, you could ask, what are the main arguments for and against AI in education?
Oh, interesting.
Or even, how are educators already using this in the classroom?
And NotebookLM would pull those insights from all those different sources.
Exactly. It connects the dots,
Right.
but in a way that's grounded in evidence. You're not just getting opinions, you're getting specific examples, quotes, even potential counterpoints, all linked back to your original material.
Wow. Okay, so it's not like just summarizing.
Right.
It's like synthesizing information
Yes.
in a way that makes it actually like digestible
Yeah.
and useful.
Exactly. And to bring it like even closer to home, imagine you need to create a study guide for like your upcoming exam. Instead of spending hours and hours combing through notes, highlighting textbooks, you could ask NotebookLM.
So you're saying I could feed it my class notes and it would like spit out a study guide.
Think even more tailored than that.
Okay.
Imagine saying, create a study guide from my notes on the French Revolution and getting back key dates, figures, even potential essay questions, all directly pulled from your notes.
Okay, that's next level. Speaking of education and AI, we actually used NotebookLM to analyze something kind of interesting for this episode.
We did. We fed it a transcript of a podcast discussion.
Oh, very meta.
I know, right?
Yeah.
On AI's impact on education.
From meta. Did it work? Could it actually like make sense of a back and forth conversation?
That's what I found so fascinating.
Yeah.
The transcript itself was structured like a typical podcast with two distinct voices exploring different angles, different viewpoints. And NotebookLM picked up on those nuances.
So it could differentiate between speakers and like follow the flow.
Precisely. It was able to identify the key themes, even pull out moments where like we challenged each other's perspectives.
Oh, interesting.
Which, if you think about it, that's like the heart of what makes a good discussion.
Right. That engagement.
That engagement, exactly.
With different viewpoints. And isn't that what we're always saying?
Right.
It's not just about, finding information. It's about actually like engaging with it.
Yes.
NotebookLM seems to be like bridging that gap in a way that wasn't possible before.
I think you've hit the nail on the head. And that's where things get really exciting.
Okay.
Because this technology, it isn't static.
Yeah.
It's constantly learning and evolving.
So where do we go from here? What's next?
Yeah.
For NotebookLM and like tools like
well,
it.
imagine the possibilities.
Yeah. It's like, what's that old saying? With great power
comes great responsibility.
There you go.
Yep.
Yeah, we've got this like crazy powerful tool at our fingertips. But, it's up to us to use it wisely.
I couldn't agree more. And that's something we need to be mindful of as these technologies, as they become more part of our everyday lives.
Yeah.
It's not just about what these tools can do, it's how we choose to use them.
So for our listeners out there who are now like just as fascinated by NotebookLM as we are, what are some like key takeaways they should keep in mind?
First and foremost, don't be afraid to like dive in, experiment.
Yeah.
NotebookLM is surprisingly user-friendly, and the best way to understand it is to just try it.
Right. See for yourself.
Exactly. Seeing is believing, right? And don't limit yourself to just one type of material.
Yeah.
Play around with like different sources, right? Articles, notes, even those voice memos.
Right.
You recorded after a really inspiring talk.
Right. Right.
You might be surprised by the connections it uncovers.
It's about looking at information in this new way, right? Finding those like hidden connections that maybe our human brains just miss.
Precisely. And remember, this is just the beginning, right?
Right.
AI is constantly evolving, so we can expect even more sophisticated tools, applications that are going to change how we learn, how we process information.
It's an exciting time to be a learner, that's for sure.
It really is.
Well, on that note, a huge thank you to all of our listeners.
Yes, thank you.
For joining us on this deep dive into NotebookLM. Hopefully this episode has kind of piqued your curiosity and given you a glimpse into the future of research and learning.
And if this conversation has sparked any like aha moments or even like burning questions,
yes,
we'd love to hear from you.
Absolutely. Connect with us on social media. Shoot us an email, whatever you want. Let's keep this conversation going. Because like the future of learning, it's something we're all kind of figuring out together.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Well, until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep that curiosity alive.